the issue was bigger than August 11th and 12th and July 8th. The issue was always bigger than that. But the world wanted to maintain a small microscopic view of August the 12th, and that was it. Forgetting about the systemic issues that we continue to deal with people of color. We're a very progressive city, voting-wise, on paper, but we're not a progressive city when it comes to policies, when it comes to systemic racism, when it comes to the education system, when it comes to the banking industry, even when it comes to the spaces in the community, we're not progressive. There's not one space in this city for black people, not one. I think the story that needs to be told is that this was not new for Charlottesville. This was not something that was just planned to happen by these young men, because they're young. They don't really know. But what they do know is the legacy that has remained in the city. And because that legacy was so strong with white supremacy and seeing the statues and seeing how black people are being displaced, seeing the lack of equity between races in this city, they felt like this was the norm for this place, and that made it okay.
Voting booth will at least provide us a system of checks and balances here to push forward some agendas. But a lot of what needs to happen on the local level. I mean, I see affordable housing as a huge issue. I lived here as a poor white person when I was pregnant with Heather, and frankly, we had to move within a year after her being born because I couldn't afford to live here. I couldn't even afford the assisted living housing at the time, and that was me as a white person, and I understand that it's still every bit that difficult, and that was 30 years ago. Heather was only a tiny part of one event of one day. She was not a known activist. She was not a leader of any sort. She showed up that one day. And while she was passionate on Facebook and other things, the focus has always needed to be on the black leadership, like Tanesha and many others, who are working to make a better life for themselves.
It's more than going to the polls. I think the polls has also been part of the problem. Honestly, we vote the wrong people in, and then we don't hold them accountable. Yeah. We don't hold them accountable to do the work. And it's deeper than voting. It's a mutual respect. It's understanding and learning the real history and the real legacies of our history and where we come from. Cultural supremacy is stuff that's passed down, and in order to kill it, you have to start with children. You can't change a child's mind when they learn it from parents. So maybe Richard Spencer and Jason Kessler got it from their parents. I don't know. When I get in trouble, the first person that the news is going to view for me will be my upbringing, will be my home, will be what's around me. But nobody ever pointed the finger at Jason Kessler parents, Richard Spencer parents, or nothing around their upbringing.
Right. We have to take specific action to be proactive and not simply react to the hate, but actually have a proactive plan ourselves to fix the problems.